What's going on, YouTube family? Tio here, Simplistic Fishing, back at you tonight for more Lake Granbury breakdowns. We finished the Google Earth waypoints. If you haven't had a chance to go check those videos out, click the link above. It'll take you over there. And if you want the SD cards for all of these, so basically get all of your waypoints put onto an SD card and then just import them into your graph, go check out my site, simplisticfish.square.site. Tonight, we're jumping into our first video on the offshore spots. I think it's going to take us about 3 videos roughly. We'll see how we break them down, but I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. Found a lot of good stuff. We got a really good river arm that's out there. Got a lot of good creek beds, all kinds of good stuff to go through. So stick around. I think you're going to enjoy this one. Here we go. So I've got lots of spots to share with you on Lake Granbury. I think what we can do is just break this down into 3 separate videos. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start up on the north end. And I'd only found a few things that were up here. Obviously, it's a lot shallower, and we're talking offshore stuff. There's not too much to mark here, but I did want to point out a couple things. Right here, there's a submerged culvert and a really deep spot right in this area right here. And also up here, you've got that little swing going on as well. So right in here, and right there would both be good areas to take a look at. And then as we move on down, you'll notice here that there's a submerged bridge, or it looks like a submerged bridge, something fairly large that's underneath there. So you definitely want to be fishing around that. Check that out, see what you can find there. And then as we move down, I didn't see too much on that channel as we move down it. But as we move all the way down here, though, did find something right in this area. So you can see right here, we've got a channel swing going on. And then right on that channel swing is a really deep spot. So I could see this being a really good area for them to set up in, especially if they were looking for deeper pockets, deeper water, depending on what type of season it is. But this could definitely be a good area to look at. Also, you might be able to find some brush piles and things like that on either side of this creek channel swing. So then as we move further on down there, not seeing too much until we get down here. Now, trust me, guys, this is going to get better. But when it's just a major creek channel, there's not much I can show you guys as far as offshore stuff. Now, there is a little submerged culvert back in here. So as you're coming up in here and going into that main river, if you look right off to the left, scan off to the left, you should be able to find a submerged culvert in here. And it looks like it's got the culvert, it's got the roadbed, and there's some flooded timber in there as well. So that could be a pretty good area to check out, possibly a spot to find some bass on. So I'm going to zoom back out here so you can see where I'm at. I'm getting a little bit further down the lake. So as we zoom all the way down here to the corner where this makes another swing, you definitely want to fish anywhere these make these big hard turns. So you've got a creek bed coming into this, as well as a big channel swing coming right here along the bank line. So definitely check this out. Check these docks out as well. Those are probably higher probability docks for sure. And then as we move further down here and get closer to this bridge, right here off of this point, there's a little creek channel here, and I could see them staging up right here on the corner and just waiting for stuff to pass them, so they can ambush the bait. But always look at these little points, that, especially the ones that touch the main creek channels or the main river channel, because those are always going to be more high percentage type points. You've got another one that's right here as well. So I went ahead and marked that for you. It's got a creek bed coming off of it too. So you want to be looking all around in here, just right around those breaks. So I'm going to move up here a little bit further. Next thing I found in here is just looking for something that was different. And right in here, you'll notice that it has a little turn in that comes in right in here. And it stays pretty deep right here, but you got a little shallow point that comes off right here as well. Same thing right here. So maybe like an old creek channel or something possibly in here. But just look in here. I wouldn't say this is as probable as some of the other stuff we looked at, but this is still looking pretty good. So then I'm going to keep moving down. I'm going to zoom back out here. Once we get to this area right here, another creek bed that's coming through here. And these creek beds, you never know if you're going to be able to find them or not. Sometimes they're golden, and then sometimes they're just washed out and there's nothing there. But definitely look there, because it does have that spin off from that creek bed. Sometimes you'll find breaks there, you'll find debris, you'll find stuff like that. So always areas you want to stop and at least scan. You've got another one coming up over here as well, where the creek or the river arm is right here, or the river channel, and then that turn in where that creek bed is. Those are always good areas right there and right there as well. So I'm going to zoom back out here because now we're getting up here by Sky Harbor Cove. And I found a couple spots that were right here. And it's mainly just right here off the tips. So fish the tip off the tip right here, as well as right in here too, because you've got a little junction going on right here with the creeks. And there could possibly be some potential good stuff right in there, especially being that this is one of those spots that's actually a little bit further away from the river channel. So check those out for sure. Those could be good for you guys. Most of these spots I picked for you are really going to be more focused on this river channel side, but we did find some things like that. So then moving down here, again, next thing you find is another creek bed coming into the main river. So right here on these points, definitely check those out. All these docks that are touching that river channel, those are all going to be good docks as well. And then I'm just going to keep following this river channel down. I'm going to zoom back out so I can show you guys where I'm at. So now I'm coming down here around the bend, and right there on the bend, that first pocket that you come to, you've got another one of those areas where you've got that creek bed that's coming in. You've got the main river channel right here. So you've got a decent little point that's coming off here as well. So check those out. Again, some of them are going to be really good. Some of them aren't even going to be anything at all, but you definitely got to check them all out just to make sure. So I'm going to keep moving down. There is a little roadbed over here. Don't know, from depth, the fact that it was way off the river channel wouldn't really necessarily maybe want to go check it out, but it is a roadbed, so maybe go check that out. I didn't put any marks there for you guys, but just be aware there is a roadbed over there. And sometimes there are sneaky little places that you can find some pretty good fish on, so go check that one out. Then I'm going to move over here. The next thing that I found was over here on your left, this pond dam that's right here. This looks pretty juicy. So you've got a roadbed that's right here. Looks like a partial roadbed according to this map, but you've also got a pond dam going on right here as well. So definitely go back in there and check that out. Scan on both sides, fish on both sides. Make sure you fish the inside as well. And you should have some success there. And then moving back over here to the right, we've got some little bitty points that come out. So you can see here, they're just little flats. So 7 to 8 foot flats that come pretty far out. And then all of a sudden they have the drops. So check those out. Check out the breaks on the edges of them. But then also if they're check and make sure they're not up here feeding on this flat as well. Then moving down here, you've got kind of the same thing. You've got a little secondary point right here. I guess that might even be a main lake point. And then you've got a creek bed that comes down through here as well. So check that spot too. I love all these little creek beds, especially when they're coming right off that main river channel, because there's going to be stuff in those areas. Maybe even over here where this major break is right in here. You've got a major break from like 4 foot to about 12 foot. So pretty good drop going on in there as well. All right, so let's move down just a little bit more. Getting close to this big marina, whatever this is, bent water. When we get over here, a pretty decent roadbed that comes out here. So just check that roadbed. Pretty much you want to check the whole thing, but really check these junctions like right here and right where I put that little fish mark, because that's actually the edge of a point too, right here as well. So you've got this flat and then they're making little points there. So check both of those out. And then moving down on the river channel, go down. Next thing we find is another creek bed. So creek bed coming off of here, pretty decent little point coming off of there. But really looks like you got a really good break right here. So it looks like maybe the creek bed comes in and then swings up and over is what I'm thinking. Must come in here and then swing up this way. But anyways, check out right in here, right where I put that marker at. But don't dismiss these little points right here and right here, because they're good ambush spots for those fish to set up in. All right, I'm going to pull back just a little bit because we've got a little arm here to take you guys down. And now we're over here in Mallard Point Marina. So when we get back here, we've got a really good creek channel going on back here as well, which is awesome. And we've got a little marker. If you look right here, I put one in here. So you've got this flat. You maybe even check out here as well, off the edge of that flat. But I'm thinking right in here where this other creek channel is, basically right where that fish marker is. So it says fishing or diving hotspot. And I also put a marker there as well. I think that's going to be a pretty good area to take a look at. Now, if you notice, this creek channel actually goes underneath those docks. So those 3 docks right in that area, or really I guess it's one main marina, but if you can go fish in there, fish right along where that creek channel is, you might have some success there. Then that creek channel actually swings over. You'll see it here. makes a pretty hard swing this way, and then you get down into more fishing and diving hotspots. So again, this whole bank line's littered with them. I think I even may have talked about that on Google Earth, saying that whole bank line right there, that stretch is probably pretty good because that creek channel touches it. And sure enough, you've got 3 different markers there as well. So definitely go fish that bank line when you're there. Now, I think we went all the way up in here and found some good stuff on the Google Earth thing. So if you missed that video, make sure you go check that out because that has some pretty good points as well. Now, as we move back out here into the main arm, there is a little fish icon here. And I always like bringing this up because, you know, I don't like it when people are grumpy and don't let me fish around docks. So apparently somebody else doesn't either. So I just want to help spread the word. So apparently there's a dock right here. And this is Grumpy's dock. And if you hit the message on this, which you guys can't see, it's like it's messed up, but it says Grumpy's dock. It's his dock, no one else's dock. Since he built it, no one else can fish around it. Well, that just means all of us need to make sure that we fish around that dock. So super, super high spot. There must be something golden there. You got to go fish Grumpy's dock. And if not, at least go try to, let Grumpy know that he doesn't know the water. All right, so moving on down. Down here, we got a major river arm. And then right out here, you've got some flat tops that are going on. So I noticed that they were out here. If I zoom back a little bit, you'll see them a little better. But you can see them right here. And these could be potential really good hotspots for show beds and things like that. So check those out and see what you can find in this area. And then, of course, pay attention to that bank line because that's where that main river channel is. And that's all good stuff, fishing all along in that area. You've also got another marker right in here. So a really good break and like a little dip going on right in here. Plus you've got a nice little flat. So where that swing comes up and then it goes on the flat, sometimes they'll set up on the flat and they'll eat on the flat and they'll set up right here and then they'll go up here and eat. So definitely look in here on the shallow stuff, especially maybe, even like right now, I think it's September 11th right now. So this would probably be a decent time to go do that because it gives them the ability to go get deep super fast. They can jump off to that channel fast, but they can move that shad and pin them up in these pockets and have a heyday on them. So check this out, especially come fall. I think you might have some success in that area. Moving over here, there is a brush pile that Texas Parks and Wildlife must have put in here. So you've got one right here. You've also got another one over here. And you've got these humps. You've got one hump here, like a little mini hump, and then you got this pretty good hump that's out here, pretty long as well. So check those out. I'd say scan that entire area right there with 2 big brush piles being there, as well as a really good hump, or actually 2 really good humps. I mean, that whole area looks like it could be pretty juicy. Moving back here, you've got a pretty good point. And then again, you've got a pretty decent little flat top point over here in the Lambert branch. So right there where I put that marker, that might be a decent spot to look. Of course, you always want to look around the bridges and things, but there's a really good creek channel coming through here. Some pretty steep drops right on this side. So I'm thinking this side of that bridge, right along that creek bed, is probably going to be your higher percentage area. Then as we move back here, just one more spot back here, you got a pond. So you've got a pond dam back there to fish around. You definitely want to go back there and check it out. That could be one of those little sneaky little spots where they're just resident fish. They live in that. They live underneath those docks. They move up shallow to spawn, and then they just move back deeper in that little pond area and live their lives. So that could be a pretty decent area to go check out. All right, so moving down here, following the main river arm down. Next thing that I found out here were just a couple different things that say obstructions. And I don't know what these are, but they're right off the edge of these little points that are out here. And they're close to the main river channel. So go check those out. And don't hit your prop on them. That wouldn't be good. That'd be checking it out a little bit too good. And then as we get further down here, a little bit past Bridge Harbor Marina, I'm going to take you to the last point of the day. And that's just right here. It makes a pretty good little bend. If you see it right here, there's just a little turn in that happens right here. Well, it just so happens that turn in is right on the edge of the river channel. So right in here is probably going to be a good spot to go take a look at. Hey guys, that wraps us up for the first video for the offshore hotspots for Lake Granbury. Hope to have the other ones here later on this week. And until next time, I hope you catch your PB. Take it easy.